Que lo que, Minnesota? You are listening to Puro Deportes, brought to you by Vida y Deportes. I'm your host, Jeffrey Bissoy, and I think it's more important to say, Que lo que, Señor Erick Garcia, back,
Back,
back, back from
back,
the other side, man. How's it feel to be back? You were sick for a little bit. I missed you, man.
bro. It was bad, and it was like the worst timing because it's like it was right after the World Cup draw. There was so much
Mm-hmm.
that I wanted to talk about, like,
Dog.
and that happened. It was just horrendous, bro. I was trying to do everything to get back, but alas, could not do it. And also, I mean, they say it's like contagious for a little bit after. I had norovirus for those of you that don't know. So got a little snatched afterwards. You feel me? Looking real slim thick.
Slim
But
Thick is crazy.
no, I mean you guys killed it last week. But yeah, no, it was a tough one to miss for sure.
For sure. I mean, top of the head right now, what's kind of like the biggest World Cup thing that you definitively want to touch on before we hop into these games?
I wanted the big thing, obviously, like the group reaction. That was one thing that I wanted to talk about like very heavily. I think with the new format, like it just kind of eliminates the whole group of death now. You
Nah,
know,
yeah,
I feel like
there
there
is no
really
real
is
group of
no.
death.
I feel like there really is no group of death except for Haiti. Haiti is in the group of death
Got
no matter
shafted.
what team they're on.
That France group is pretty nasty too, and the
Yep,
Germany one too.
that one's gonna be really fun. We finally get to watch the Mbappe Haaland, so that'll be great. That'll be a nice little blockbuster. Um,
Senegal's nasty too.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good ones. I wouldn't say there's a group of death, but there's a lot of great teams, and that'll be some great matches. So I'm excited for that one. So that was one, and then the other one was just the drawing in general. Like felt like a cluster, like it was very Americanized, very all over the place. I feel like, I don't know, random.
Well, speaking of Americanized and random, so the first game I want to start us up today is end of the year. We got to play a few more games. Keep it light. My man coming back from a sickness, right? We can't just be going gung ho into the hard stuff, even though there's some hard stuff here. But true or false? Let's start first here with World Cup related stuff. So, USA men's national head coach Mauricio Pochettino has fallen in love with the story of the gold medal winning 1980 Olympic hockey team. And he believes that USA is capable of its own miracle at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. True or false, Senor Garcia? Team USA has the goods to go all the way on home soil.
No. uh no. And I mean, like, I mean, you're the worst. I'm the worst person to ask.
I know
I'm
because you're just a Team USA hater. You just don't even entertain it at all, bro. Like you
No,
don't even go with the subject.
absolutely not. I mean, like, listen, I do think that they have this is I would say their strongest team that they've had in decades. Um, they can do a lot. So I see the expectation. But I really don't think on paper they should be fine as a group stage. I really do think that they might somehow soil it.
Mm.
Because I think it's that mentality that everyone is feeding into it. They're also feeding into it. This is an easy group. We'll see. But I don't I see them barely scraping by on this group. But no, I don't think that they're gonna have this miracle or
You
my
know, yeah, I don't think they're gonna win it by any means. I just wrote a whole lengthy piece about dark horses and the whole nine. But if you told me, I think they could be a dark horse. I think they are a dark horse, and I think more importantly, if USMNT at the end of the World Cup makes it to the semi, I'm shrugging my shoulder because I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to Vegas and putting money on it to happen, but if it happened, I wouldn't be surprised. They're a good team that have risen to the challenge. They got players that are playing in Europe at a high level. They got young players coming up here. They have decent depth because a lot of the World Cup is, are you healthy enough? A lot of it is, are you playing your best soccer at the right moment? A lot of it is, are you playing the right opponent at the right time? Are they dealing with injuries to a key player? Anything can break right. And I got to remind folks, 1998 Paris, Ronaldo versus Zidane. They don't like to talk about, but they drugged Ronaldo. And so in 2026 on U.S. soil, I wouldn't put it past the powers that be. I won't name them. I'm trying to be safe in my undisclosed location.
Mm-hmm.
Third eye open.
Third
Third
eye
eye
open.
open. I wouldn't be surprised. The U.S. needs a win. The U.S. needs to win. I wouldn't be surprised if they moved a few things just to try to get them playing their best football. That's all I'm saying, Eric. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, listen, I'll go ahead and say it. I do think that this drawing was very in their favor. But I do think that this will definitely backfire for sure.
That's how it starts, Eric. You got the
But that's how. But
norovirus.
listen, that's
You
how
got
I
the
also feel about
norovirus, bro. Like, where did that come from? The powers that be
the
understood the
powers that
power of
be.
Puro Deportes was onto them, so they had to make sure that you were sick for a little bit to let the noise die down.
They had a silent. They had to silence me. You feel me? They
Absolutely, bro.
they had to silence me. Nah. It's if anything, and this might be biased, but if anything, if I see anyone really kind of like exceeding expectations, it would be Mexico.
I have zero expectations for Mexico. I ain't
No,
gonna
me
lie to you.
neither. I have no
Like,
I have no expectations for Mexico, but I think something about I mean, listen, you're no stranger to um the Mexican crowd, how they are, how
nah,
harsh they are.
facts.
Um and that's just on friendlies. You feel me? Like we're talking World Cup. We're
Yeah.
talking home opener. We're talking in your backyard. That's a whole different type of pressure and a whole different type of embarrassment that I feel like as the US, they don't really care for it. No, they don't care for it, but it's not there, right?
Yeah.
Like if this was hockey, like yes, like it's in your home turf, like you guys are the Americans. I mean, there's also like other good, like the Olympics, pretty much like that. But it's and same thing with basketball, like we expect for the US to have a good, basketball team, whatever. But I think with this one, it's it's different because it's like again, like we go crazy for these friendlies.
I feel like the most underrated part about that, because you're absolutely right. Like,
Mm.
I I remember just like growing up, every Gold Cup game, every CONMEBOL game, not CONMEBOL, but like CONCACAF,
Hmm.
Mexican fans will fill out stadiums. It don't matter where it is in the US, bro. It could be in Texas, New York, Chicago,
Chicago. Hmm.
Philly, Minnesota. I was at the Gold Cup games in Minnesota, and like, you think that you have home turf. You don't have home turf, bro.
No,
No, I mean, y'all never had home turf.
no.
So that certainly makes the Mexico case very interesting because your fans can make a home field advantage anywhere, and games are played throughout Mexico, USA, and Canada. It could get dicey, and to your
It
point,
is it's tough, and I
it's
feel like
power.
they recognize that because again, the US again like they have home turf, but it's not like that. Canada, I can see them having some support in the US, maybe not in Mexico, maybe for the love of the game, but like nothing like
This
that.
Canada don't really got fans like that. They're too busy saying "good game,
You feel me? But
good game."
like
Know what I mean,
but Mexico, it's a little bit different. You got your home turf, which is the motherland, and then you got second home turf,
which is also the motherland.
which is also the motherland
Read
pretty
your
much.
history books, people.
Literally.
Colorado, Colorado, eso
Come
no es
on.
una palabra en inglés. I
Come
mean,
on.
Nevada, eso no es una palabra en inglés.
Arizona.
Arizona, Los Ángeles.
California, bro. Stop it.
Nah, let's be for real.
Stop it,
Montaña.
bro.
They laid a state. They named the state over a mountain. Let's be for real.
That's crazy. Listen, that's another podcast. You feel me?
No, no, seriously.
But I feel like they have to recognize that pressure. And I feel like if anyone is going to exceed expectations because of that pressure, it has to be Mexico because the embarrassment that would happen. You feel
Look,
me? It might be, I don't know, conspiracy theory, but it might be another, government cartel link up again. Kobe and Shaq.
Listen, I am in a secure location, and the powers that be, que sea los poderes de México, que sea the powers from the U.S. I don't want no problems with nobody. All
Nope.
I'm saying is Mexico's have to be slept on. Next talking point. Neymar has recently saved Santos from relegation. All right. I don't know if you're keeping tabs on this, but this boy went through 4 games of hell, playing on one knee, scoring, assisting, doing everything to save Santos from relegation. He picked up an MCL injury in the process, which he is currently having surgery on. And of course, everyone's been like, yo, Carlos, like, what's good, man? Like, Neymar's killing it. Are you going to finally bring him back to the national team? And Ancelotti's big thing always has been, I only bring players that are 100%. If they're 90%, I'm not even sure I'm bringing them to the team. We've got to be informed. We've got to be healthy. And so recently, he says, if Neymar deserves to be there, if he's doing well, if he's better than someone else, he will play in the World Cup period. I don't owe anything to anyone. Neymar's getting that surgery. He said publicly that he would love to play in this World Cup, that he's playing some of his best football in years. True or false, Neymar will be flying to the U.S. with Brazil come 2026.
I mean, like the fan in me wants it to happen so bad. He's 33. I mean, like
Yeah.
he could play one more if
He,
he's
he,
healthy.
he could play 2 more the way Ronaldo and Messi moving.
But I mean, like again, it's tough. Football's football, He could, not get picked up this one, and it might do something for his confidence. I don't know, but like, I would love to see him do it as a fan. I feel like we need that. I feel like it would heal the sport somehow. But do I think it might happen? I think I'm gonna say false.
Yeah, man. Look, MCL injuries are crazy. My mom just recently learned that she has an MCL injury and has to get surgery. Obviously, much older, so the recovery is going to take longer. But
Hmm.
I've had friends deal with it. It can take up to a year to fully recover from. But this is a multi-millionaire with the access to the great.
Multi-billionaire, bro. Because
Oh yeah.
didn't he get that inheritance from that random guy?
See, I actually don't know. Let me see what Neymar's net worth is real quick. I
Did you
mean,
read that story?
I did read that story. I mean, right now it says that he earns a fortune. So it says that he's
He owns
supposed
a
to
hundred
have
million.
846 million pounds. But they're counting it in US dollars as upwards of 500 million is what his net worth is. I'm not pocket watching. I'm not pocket watching. What I am trying to say though is that he has access to the best doctors that money can buy,
Yeah, 100%.
even if he's not a billionaire. And look, if there is someone that can beat the odds, it is Senor Neymar. We know what he is when he's at top form. We know what Brazil has been like recently. They've been very good, but they still seem to be missing a little some a Neymar-sized hole, maybe. But I think I might join you in saying that this one is false, brother. I think this is false. I don't know.
And it pains us to say it.
I hate to say it, but he has 6 months. I'm not sure if he's gotten the operation yet. I know he's scheduled to get it done. But even then, let's say he gets it done December. He has January, February, March, April, and May to fully recover from this. And then on top of it, the hardest part of it is proving to Ancelotti that he still has the goods to be hopping on that plane. And I think that's going to be the hardest test. I don't doubt how much work he's going to put out to be in shape. I do doubt, however, that he's going to be able to convince Carlos to actually be part of the roster. To which I would say, like, look, man, I predict Brazil's going to make it to the semis, Eric, right? I do predict that. They have a really good team. I think things can break right for them finally. Does it hurt to have Neymar as your 26th man? You know what I'm saying? Let him grow into the tournament group stage. You're going to blow that group out the water. Sorry, Haiti, but you're going to blow that group out the
Respectfully.
water.
I mean, it's a good warm-up game for him, respectfully.
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 I don't know, but I do think it's false. Though I don't see it happening.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's a really tough one, but hey, I mean, all it takes is a miracle, bro. Like you get someone that gets a last minute injury during their in season, and who else are we gonna have to call?
You see it. Joel Linton's been struggling with an injury recently, so maybe he
Right.
takes Joel Linton's place, who's currently playing in that 8-10 role, which is where Neymar will probably play.
He'll find him in the tunnel.
Hi, Dios mío. uh, Final true and false here. Um, Arsenal tied 10-man Chelsea. They lost to their former manager, Unai Emery, who has Villa flying right now. Shout out to the Villains. They lost to him again because they struggle against Unai Emery and the Villains. And they narrowly escaped a draw against Wolverhampton, who are at the very bottom of the barrel of the Premier League and are awaiting relegation. True or false, Eric?
False. Whatever it is,
Arsenal
false.
shouldn't be comfortable with the top spot.
They shouldn't be comfortable.
They shouldn't be too comfortable with the top spot. That's the
No,
question.
yeah, I think they should.
So that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's true. But I think that they shouldn't be comfortable at all. Um, they've been playing crazy football though. You feel me? I mean, like since the Chelsea game, we beat Brentford 2-0. We lost to Unai Emery once, which like we can't beat Emery, but that's hilarious because it's there's club history there. We beat what was it? Club Brugge? Brugge?
Yeah. You beat them 3-0, right?
3-0, yeah. And then barely won the Wolves game. So it's a little 50-50. It's a little 50-50. You know what I mean?
Yo, I'm all about seeds of doubt. And as you guys have known, you've been paying attention. I've kept saying objects in the mirror are closer than they seem. This is not true of Chelsea. We've been struggling.
Yeah, no, I was about to say.
But it is true for Manchester City.
He's talking about Crystal Palace and Chelsea.
But it is true about Manchester City, who are just 2 points behind Arsenal. Have 2 more losses. I have 1 draw. You guys have 3 draws. They have 2 losses. Goal difference. They beat you guys on goal difference. You guys are obviously the top team as it comes to defense. Pep is starting to figure out with this team. Nico O'Reilly's been balling out. Phil Foden, remontada. I've been telling folks since the summer that Phil Foden was going to break out this year eventually, and he's finally been doing that. And in doing so, with him recovering some of that form, City's playing really good ball, and they only stand to get healthier because Rodri's going to come back eventually. All I'm saying is, brother, this is a very true statement. I think that Arsenal should not be too comfortable, especially because they are dealing with some key injuries, especially in that back line.
Yeah, man. It's and this is where the depth is really it's really nice. I mean, like I know there was a lot of fans on Twitter that were like, "Yo, why do we need 8, 9 defenders? Why are we signing defenders? We need a striker." And we see it now. We see it. We see why we get those defenders, and like they've all been very solid. I can't wait till Gabby Jesus is back. Can't wait till
Ooh, I'm watching him for my fantasy team. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like
you picked him up.
I want to pick him up. I really want to pick him up only because I know that if he finds a way to beat out Gyökeres, he's going to be so nasty. He's already looked great in the limited minutes that he's had thus far.
Listen, he's one of the Bible buddies. Like he's got God on his side.
He's the player that if you're a true football fan, he's the player that I think every football fan should be rooting for.
Mm-hmm.
He's just the quintessential footballer, especially in today's era. Techie, can score bangers, speedster. Anytime he has the ball at his feet, you feel like something magical will happen. He's just like, I just want to see you back, man. I want to see you at the peak. Like that first season at Arsenal, dog.
Like, oh, yeah, we signed a Brazilian.
No, that's it. Honestly,
we got a Brazilian. Yeah, because Martinelli wasn't doing. He forgets he's Brazilian sometimes.
And he's Italian, bro. Switching over to segments, talking a little bit about the Vikings. Vikings rumor mill has been crazy, which is hilarious because JJ McCarthy has actually been playing really, really, really good. I was at the Minnesota Vikings game versus the Commanders, my first Vikings game ever. JJ looked incredible, man. Like,
bro, even last night's game.
against the Cowboys. Against the Cowboys on Sunday, he looked amazing. People are going to be like, "Yo, the Commanders' defense is boo boo. The Cowboys' defense is his horse boo boo." He's not that nice, and I'm like, I keep looking at him. I'm like, he's 21 years old. He's played 8 games. He's 4-4. In the 4 games he won, he looked great. In the 4 games he didn't win, it was terrible. And as we kept saying, he just needs to play. But then something's been bubbling up in Cincinnati. Something's been bubbling up in the Minnesota Vikings locker room. Justin Jefferson is not happy. All right. He's not happy. He we're going to talk about it a little bit later because his stats are not where they should be given where his career has been. We're going to talk about it later. But Joe Burrow, who struggled with a lot of injuries in recent years, including this year, has not been playing as well either. The Cincinnati Bengals look terrible. And people are like, maybe Minnesota should trade for Joe Burrow. Maybe he's the solution at quarterback. But then at the same time, J.J. McCarthy's trying to figure it out. So all that to be said, there's a little bit of a NFL script building here between Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, and J.J. McCarthy.
A little love triangle.
A low triangle. Like, what's going on here? When you look at that dilemma, if you got to say, I want Joe Burrow or let the rookie cook. Well, he's not a rookie. Let the second-year QB out of Michigan cook. Where are you leaning right now, man?
It's tough because just watching that game yesterday, it was like, okay, like he's got the arm, he's got the vision, he's got the legs. He can
even though he got that little jump throw where his leg turns backwards like a ballerina.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but it works, Like
yeah.
so I'm liking the relationship building that's happening now. For me, my main concern is Justin Jefferson, and if you got a QB option of someone that already has a relationship with him for
LSU
many years,
LSU.
I'm leaning there. Because he knows how he works. They know how to connect with each other. Like the relationship's already there, and he's Joe Burrow. Like that we need a little bit of swagginess in the league, and not the league, but like in our team. You feel me? Because nine is not it. 9 is not convincing me.
He's not convincing you?
No,
he's not turning you. You're not turning the dial just a little
ever
bit.
Since he came out with that stupid 9 thing, it's been a joke. You feel me? Like
the memes have been great.
It's been insane, bro. It's like, new washed alter ego. I'm 9. Like it's horrible. But like at the same time, it's like Joe Burrow is very injury prone. So it's like, so what do you do then? Like then you're back in square one with no QB if your quarterback's injured, and the way that our O-line's been, he's probable to get hit.
Yeah.
So it's a 50-50. Again, like the last 2 games that JJ has played have been great. The last game last night specifically was really good. I was really impressed. He threw two interceptions, but the rest of them were great. He was in it, and it was a very like call and response kind of game where it's like they scored, we scored, they scored, we scored, and that's what we need. Like we don't need to catch up. We're down 26 and we need to catch up. Like we were down 7 the whole time, or we were tied. So I don't know. If you were gun to my head, if you were to ask me who I would pick, I would say Joe Burrow.
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm really 50-50. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Joe Burrow is a superior quarterback, all healthy, no question about it. If we're talking about a healthy Joe Burrow and what he's already done in the league, what he did in college, I think Joe Burrow, no question about it, should be the 9 that we focus on. 29. But that's no problem. That's no problem for QB. They just brought out Phillip Rivers at 44. Phillip Rivers was on his couch with his 12 kids coaching his high school team, and he needed the health benefits. And that dude was lining up for the coach this weekend. So age is nothing. I think 29 is a perfect age. 29 gives you another decade if you can avoid the injuries, right? And I think with Joe Burrow, the injury is where I have the pause. Right. But then at the same time, J.J. McCarthy has also struggled with injuries. So it's like, do I take a gamble with the QB that has been successful in this league with injury problems? Or do I trust the young gun that's starting to find his stride who also is often injured as well. It is a really interesting thing, and I think it comes down to how much do you value Justin Jefferson's opinion and Justin Jefferson's future in Minnesota. He's under contract for a long time, right? That's
Mhm.
not an issue. But if you value having Justin Jefferson, then I think you might have to be leaning Joe Burrow. And either way, I'm solid on both, man. If they want to be patient with JJ McCarthy, it is what it is. You kind of stuck with that after you've invested so much into him. But if we went out and get Joe Burrow, look, I'm gonna get my cigar out.
I just want to win. I just want to win. I'm tired, Grandpa.
Well, that's too dang bad.
Literally, that's what the Vikings are saying.
uh, the switching over to the Timberwolves, keeping it local, seems to me that the Timberwolves are sniffing around some major names. And the thing with the Minnesota Timberwolves is like Tim Connolly has had a history of sniffing around, sniffing around, sniffing around,
I'm
but
not really doing.
not that he's not doing anything. On the contrary, you never really know what he's planning. Rudy Gobert came out of nowhere. Karl-Anthony Towns trade came out of nowhere. Mike Conley trade when we got rid of D'Lo came out of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And since we don't have definitive names, we don't have all the teams that he's dealing with because they're really good on keeping things hush hush.
Yep.
The fact that we have so many rumors, all right, Minnesota's interested in Kobe White. Minnesota's interested in Trae Young potentially. Minnesota has sifted around John Morant. Minnesota has called about LaMelo Ball. Minnesota has called about Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That one surprised me a little bit.
But where there is smoke, there's fire,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like Tim Connolly is at his desk right now, waiting to shock us for something. I don't know how big. It could end up being a very small thing. But I truly think that by February, there is going to be a move in Minnesota. Now, the question is, what will that move be? But the fact that he's sniffing around has me feeling like it's going to be something to ideally help bolster this roster. So, what do you make of all this noise and of the players that I mentioned? Which one surprised you most, and which ones, feel realistic to you?
The Giannis one being like a top one was interesting
Mm.
because I didn't really like see that one coming. But he is a fan of Ant, so like not too, surprised. But I would say that one being the most legitimate because there's a lot of rumors. People say rumors and stuff and speak on Twitter, but that one was the one that was like felt very credible and that everyone was talking about where it's like, oh, there's a real chance that he can go to if the Knicks deal doesn't go, he can go to Minnesota and da da da. There's talk that like Ant is like pushing for it. So we forgot to mention the Kyrie one. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Kyrie one. Yep, Kyrie. We
That
skipped
was another one
Kyrie.
too that really surprised me. And that one, the Kyrie one was the one that feels the most realistic because I think he's coming off an injury right now, right?
He's coming off the Kyrie one's interesting to me because he's coming off an injury. But if you move for Kyrie, he's probably not going to suit up for Minnesota until next fall, right? So this is a gamble for an injury, another player that struggled with injuries, availability concerns, who by sometime next season would be 34. Now,
Mhm.
he's 6'4", greatest handles in league history, shot maker, tries on defense. He's not locked down, but he tries on defense, can both play the one and the two, which is good. But for me, it's like the age combined with the fact that he's not going to be available come spring. I'm like, do you want to mortgage the future for that? Also, what would that deal even look like is the questions that come to me. But I think he'd be an amazing fit, right?
Yeah.
So do you wait till the summer to figure it out and just run the team till then? I don't know if you have the luxury of doing that.
So that's the one trade that's heavily suggested by Anthony Edwards. So this one is from what it's rumored is he's really pushing for this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but let's say we do go with this, right? Let's say we do end up, you know, let's say we land this, right? Who are we giving up?
Kyrie. First, I got to figure out how much does Kyrie make? All right.
Because I think a package like this would be like, cool. We send someone young. We send a Nas Reed, Mike Conley, and a draft pick
Yeah.
to Dallas.
I feel like to Dallas, the clean trade is trading Julius for Kyrie straight up. That's the clean trade. Money wise, that's even. But I'm not sure if Dallas wants Julius Randle, right? Anthony Davis is technically their 4/5. He does not want to play the 5. He's been very adamant about that. So I'm not sure if Julius is the right move there. If I'm Minnesota, I'm not sure if I want to move Nas
Send him
for
Rudy.
Kyrie. I think Rudy is unmovable because our defense is inexistent without him, and we still don't have a backup. So unless you bring a center back, I don't really see that happening. So if it ends up being Nas, it probably ends up being probably Rob. Rob ends up being in that deal. I think with a Kyrie deal, it's trickier because you might be forced to bring in a third team to make the salaries match. And that allows you to bring back Kyrie. And then maybe ideally you're bringing back something else too, because you might have to push out more salary that other teams may want that Dallas definitely would not want. I think the only player that Dallas would want is probably Rob and maybe some future firsts.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
That's one to keep an eye on for sure. But I know that one's the one that has everyone the most excited because of the most how credible it is.
Yeah, I mean, Ant's credibility, mainly because Ant's been pushing for it, but Ant's also been pushing for Bones Highland playing, and he's been playing really well. The one that's intriguing to me is Kobe White and Giannis. Um, Tim Connolly has called a bunch of random teams in such a way that makes it feel like he's looking for third teams to make a move and trying to gauge the market, right? Um, I'm not saying we're getting Giannis. I am saying that Giannis did say that Anthony Edwards was his favorite player in the NBA. I am saying that even though he wants to be in a warmer climate, that the drive from Milwaukee to Minneapolis is a short one. I'm not saying he wants to be in Minnesota, but I am saying that him linking up with Anthony Edwards does propel Minnesota into a top 5 team in the NBA if they're not already, and
Mhm.
therefore are set up to be perennial contenders each and every single year. So he says he wants good weather. He says he wants championship contention. He says he ideally wants better taxes. That literally leaves you to Texas and Florida.
Which like
And I'm like, I can say, okay, go to Miami. Okay, do your thing. Go to Orlando. But I think there could be something there. I'm not. I wouldn't bank my money on it, but I'm saying don't sleep on it. If Minnesota is
mhm.
involved, they're going to put together an intriguing offer. The one that's definitely intriguing for me that I think fans are split on is Kobe White. I think Kobe White has a lot of credibility. I think the Wolves and Tim Connelly have definitely sniffed around with Kobe White. I like it because he's younger than Kyrie. Kobe White's 26. All right. He's averaged 20 points. He shoots upwards of 40% from three. He shoots a lot of threes, can play make, can play a little bit of shooting guard as well. Now, he's not the defensive player that Kyrie is, but his size at 6'4", 6'5", it's still really good. I think one of my biggest things is like we keep tossing out these 6'2", 6'1", 6 feet, barely 6 feet defenders at the guard position. At 6'4", at least you're gonna have some resistance. So I like the Kobe White one just because of the youth, and I don't think it would be a heavy lift to bring him onto the team. I think it'll be an inexpensive move for a Chicago team who wants to offload him for the simple fact that he does not fit where they're trying to go. So those are the big ones to watch out for me.
Real quick before we switch gears, did you watch that Thunder's Spurs game?
Did I watch it, Frero?
Bro, they were hooping,
Big Wemby, not the little one. I,
hooping.
I know we're fanboys of Wemby, bro. This is definitely a Wemby podcast, but But I love everything that he represents.
Yeah.
I love that there are people that are starting to hate him. I love that there are people really starting to love him. As a kid who speaks French, whose half of their family lives in France, I love it because Wemby could be my cousin. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And he has that entire French swagger of like, I don't care. I say what I want. But then at the same time, I can back it up. Him talking salty about Chet leading into the matchup. What did he say? He said something along the lines of, is it hard? Is it hard to slow down Chet in a game? And he was just like, he answered it something along the lines of like, it's hard to slow down any player when you have to be so focused on the superstar that is Shea. I'm like, yeah,
Break them from the inside.
my boy just called you irrelevant without calling you irrelevant. The most poetic, elegant. That was so French. That was Voltaire.
It
That
was
was
good,
Hugo. That was Les Miserables level banter, bro. Like,
bro. I feel like with all of that, especially with this game, bro, like I feel like we're kind of slowly going back into this like era of the NBA, and I'm liking it.
mm,
I'm liking it. Almost like this, like I wouldn't say the 90s because it's still soft, but like you're getting there. You're getting, 90s, early 2000s kind of era of like, basketball, I'd say. I
mm,
just want more physicality.
yeah.
Let the fouls slide, which a lot of them did in that game. But I just want to see hoops and trash talking and players not liking each other. Like,
Nah, he's bringing that energy back. When he talked about some ethical hoops, we play ethical hoops.
Mhm.
You know, for me, I'm just like,
He's on
I,
Twitter, bro. He's
for
he's
sure.
got he's got to be on Twitter.
For sure, for sure.
He's got a burner account.
It's me. I'm the burner account. I'm kidding. It's not me. I don't tweet enough anymore to be anybody's burner. But no, I love it. I love everything Wemby stands for. I love that OKC got a challenge. We're gonna talk a little bit more about OKC in a second, but like
Mhm.
I think it was a wake up call for them that them just winning to the finals. Everyone has them coronated as this year's finals automatically because of the work that they put. Only their second loss of the season, but it's like it's still not going to be easy. There are teams that can give you that work, and I think Wemby went out to.
And it's only December.
Hey man, championships aren't won in December. Their championship habits are built in December, but they're not
Mhm.
won.
Mhm.
I want to close this off here by heading into our final whistle segment, which is basically playing a little game of who's in the mud, right? So basically, who's in the mud? I'm gonna name a
Joseph.
player, a
Oh.
manager. We might be. I ain't gonna lie to you. We might be in the mud. I ain't gonna lie to you. We're losing traction. We're stuck in the snow, to be honest. Uh, we'll name a player, a manager, team, and we'll share if they're in the mud, meaning they're failing, disappointing, or overhyped, or if they're solid gold or whatever you want to call it. They're doing decent, whatever.
Yep.
Um, and we'll just go as is, right? First one I'm gonna go through. OKC are looking the best. The Warriors 73-9 record after losing to Wemby in the NBA Cup. Do they still have the goods to get it done? Are they in the mud?
No, I think they'll be fine. I
You think they're gonna beat the Warriors record? You think they're
think,
gonna? Do you think they're gonna lose less than 9 games?
yeah, I think
Uh,
I think that's possible. Would I put money on it? No, but yeah, I see it being possible.
mm.
Granted, your second loss is in the middle of December, so it's like
I mean, that's still really good. I mean,
that's it's impressive for
you're
what
you're
it is.
you're a little over a quarter of the season and you only have 2 losses. That's crazy. That's a
It's
good pace. That's a
it
very good
is
pace.
Yeah. I mean, they're undefeated at home. I think their biggest thing is as long as if they keep their home streak clean, they'll be fine. It's the away games, and I feel like it's going to be a mental game after that because I'm a big Rocky fan, and I always think of me and my brother. We always talk about what is it, Rocky 4, where he's beating the Russian dude.
Yeah.
He makes him bleed, and the dude's just like, he's
Deco.
not a machine, he's a man. So like, seeing that the Thunder can be beat, they're not a machine, bro. They're a man. So I think it's gonna be a mental game going forward because
Bet.
they can lose and they can lose with ethical hoops. And I feel like I see a Timberwolves win in the horizon against the OKC. Believe that.
I think we've played them the best out of most of the teams in the league. To be honest, we just need to
Hmm.
figure out. We just need to get out our own way. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I do see them. I do see them kind of beating that record.
All right. All right. Okay. All right. We already said Chelsea's in the mud, so we're not even gonna do that one.
No, let's talk about it.
No, we're not gonna talk about it, bro. Ain't nothing to talk about. Arsenal's title hopes after a recent late season wobble. They in the mud.
No, never.
They're not losing traction.
Hell no.
They don't need new tires.
Nah.
Quicksand kind of sinking. Need some help.
You know what it is? It's keeping it interesting.
Uh,
We can't just have an invincible season. We have to be humble, my friend.
nah, man. Arsenal fans, man, y'all were talking some sweet talk about some. We're gonna beat the Chelsea record of how many goals scored. I'm like, yep, you guys have already allowed 10 goals in. I'm sorry. At this pace, you're gonna allow 20 goals in. We had 15. Y'all were talking salty from day one, so I need you guys to hold that particular L.
Hey,
But you're in the driver's seat. How about that? You're in the driver's seat. I believe in you.
I'm because we're doing great in the Champions League.
You are. You guys
So
are
it's
actually are.
it's so now it's like, all right, cool. Can we keep our focuses on both? You know, like
Yeah.
what are you going to prioritize if push comes to shove? With these injuries happening, like it's tough. It's going to get to that point where we're going to have to choose. I feel like, but I think either way, it's a win for them. They have to win something,
Yeah.
even if it's the Carbo Cup.
I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something
I'll
or
leave
whatever.
you with
I'm
something.
leaving here with something. Um, with the breakout of Bones Highland for the Minnesota Timberwolves, are Rob Dillingham's playing time minutes in the mud?
I would say so. That was kind of a weird turn for me, but at the same time, it's like, all right, cool. Like Finch is trying something different, which like I'll applaud him for that. But at the same time, it's like, then what are we doing with Rob? If anyone, I feel like not that deserves those minutes because everything is earned, but if anyone's going to be first in line for those starter minutes when Ant's gone, you would think it would be Rob. And it kind of going to Bones. It's great for his confidence, great for Bones' confidence. Granted, the first game he played, 4 minutes, got injured, messed up my parlay, but that's neither here or there. That's okay. Um, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting, but I do think that, I mean, it might go back to Rob Dillingham again if Bones doesn't deliver the way that Finch wants him to, but it's tough.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I think Rob's minutes are like an old school Hollywood movie. FIN. You know what that spells? Fun. You know what
Finn,
that means? It's finished. It's the end. Look,
do you think that those are signs of like, all right, cool, like we're trading you?
I think that if Minnesota does a move, like I've been insinuating that they're going to do, where there's smoke, there's fire. I
Yeah.
find it extremely hard to believe that Rob Dillingham is still on this roster. I think it's almost implausible.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think it's 100% Rob's fault. I also don't think it's 100% Finch's fault. I do think it is 100% Tim Connolly's fault, but I'm not going to get into that. But I think the biggest thing is here is it's two parties that do not agree. And the best solution is to get Rob Dillingham in a situation where he can play. He has proved that he belongs in the NBA, but he has not proved thus far, nor has enough time to
Does he belong
prove
in this system?
that he can belong in this system and play winning basketball at the highest level. If you tell me he gets traded to a team and he blows into a player that averages 16 and 7 on a team that probably wins 30, 35 games, I can see that. There's a good basketball player there. I just don't see it happening in Minnesota. We're trying to win a championship, and when you're trying to win a championship and you're bringing on a player that's not ready yet to contribute to championship basketball, there's a reason why Bones Highland's out there playing. He looks like the polished version of what we're looking for from Rob. And mind you, Bones is also 6'3", 6'4", so there's that size that plays into it as well. So
I just realized that Rob Dillingham went to Donda Academy.
yeah, I mentioned that in the pod, bro. I think that's part of the challenge, right? Like he
Yeah.
wasn't at Monteverde. He wasn't at one of these programs where he was truly working on the best of his overall basketball skill set. That he made it to the NBA is a full testament to his talent. No one can lie on Rob Dillingham's name and say he's not talented. This is an extremely talented basketball player. But I think it is all the other tiny little things that ideally would have been much more polished right now that he
Yeah.
now has to work on. And that's tough because as a basketball player, you're like, yo, I was the guy that they used to push the tempo. I was the guy that set the tone. I was the guy that was getting the buckets. I was the guy that was setting up my teammates. And now you're being told, hey, we don't necessarily need you to be that guy. Maybe 10% of that. We need you to play within this play style. I think that is the biggest challenge that I think most fans don't understand about NBA basketball players and why certain players work in the NBA and certain players don't. It's not always about skill. There's size, there's basketball IQ, there's playing style, there's drafted to the wrong team. And I think Minnesota needs what Rob Dillingham has to offer. They just don't have the time nor the luxury of patience to help him get there while trying to play winning basketball.
At least at this stage of the organization. I mean, we're in a winning phase. We're in a, playoff contender, championship contender phase. So it's like, had this been like in 2020, had we picked him up in 2020, 2019, cool, you would have had some years to develop because, we're developing as an organization. But now it's kind of like it's crunch time.
It's crunch time, man. It's tough. It's tough. Final one here. Justin Jefferson's 1,000 yards catching season. Is it in the mud? He's currently at about, I think it's 874 yards. They do have a few weeks left. Is his 1,000 yards catching season in the mud, Eric?
I don't want to say that it is, but I feel like, yeah, he's at 832.
Giants, middling team,
even
Lions,
even the
and
last
Packers.
Even the last two games, he didn't really have that many yards. He had 11 yards with the Commanders game and then 22 yards in the Cowboys game.
And the challenge in both games is that he's had opportunities to get big yards, but he has not. I don't know what's been going on with him securing the football lately. I know obviously JJ has missed him. Yeah. He missed him on a 30-yard drive against the Cowboys, but the ball ended up going to Naylor, and Naylor scored. But like he some of the ones that have been thrown his way, he has not been able to secure it in the way that he typically does as well. I'm not saying it's your fault, JJ. All I'm saying is we got to accept that while JJ McCarthy is figuring his stuff out, when it does come your way, other receivers are bringing it in, and you're not right now. He's not in his best form.
I don't think it's unrealistic. I mean, that's 84 yards in 2 games.
Yeah, that's Yeah, and he's a
but
guy that typically averages 100.
If he doesn't hit it on one game, then it's like over 100 some yards the second game. So I'm gonna say it's in the mud.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna say it's in the mud. I'm gonna just say, you know what I'm saying, he's in a little snow ditch.
Yeah,
and I think JJ McCarthy and KOC, I think Jordan Addison, Brian Flores got to go behind the car and push Justin out of that ditch. He has 3 games
Yeah.
He has 3 games to make up 170 yards for a guy that we know can get that done in a game or within
Easily.
2. So I'm going to say that he does hit 1,000 yards, and he probably makes that his end of the season goal to make sure that he hits those marks.
It's crazy that before this season, his lowest yardage season was in 2023, and that was 1,074 yards.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which is roughly probably where he'll end at. He'll probably be right at 1,014 yards. That's my prediction. I don't think it's in the mud. I think he lost traction. He's in a ditch right now. They got a shovel around it. The rest of the team got to push him back on the right track.
We'll see.
We'll see. Well, you guys have been listening to Puro Deportes, brought to you by Vida Deportes. Don Eric, where can these folks go and show you some love, baby?
At BS. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. At NOT BSMNT PAPI.
You already know you can follow me, show me some love at TheJeffBissoy, the Jeff Bissoy. Make sure to follow Puro Deportes on all social media. Leave us a like, leave us a comment, leave us some stars on Spotify and Apple. That's how we can continue to grow this thing. Be on the lookout for upcoming news going into next year. Holla at us, man. Show us some love. If you see us outside, say what's up.
Yes, sir.
Ya tú sabes.
Any final thoughts before we sign out?
No, final thoughts. Biggest thing is next week is going to be our last episode of the year. Just like you, we want to be able to celebrate Christmas and welcome in the new year with our families. We wish you guys the very best. We're going to have our holiday special next week. And then we'll be back in January, ready to go for a lot of amazing Minnesota sports. Also, shout out to Minnesota Wild. They signed young Quinn Hughes. We don't talk a lot about the Minnesota Wild, but that's a big time.
As someone that doesn't know hockey, I had to look it up on Twitter, and someone was like, "Yo, can somebody explain this in NBA terms?" And then someone said, "What'd they say? It's one tier below the Luka trade," is how they described it.
Yeah,
and everyone was saying that it was a spot on trade. So hey, let's go Minnesota sports.
Let's go Minnesota sports. You got it. Make sure to show love to Puro Deportes. Of course, show love to Vida Deportes as well. Cuídense mucho. We'll talk to you later. Peace.